I posted a picture of this baker's twine tassel that I made on Instagram, and I basically said if you guys like my photo, I'll do a video, and I did have some people like it, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make this. I don't put the little metal clippies on my planner. I just do a regular knot and leave enough tail so I can just run it through. So it just makes it easier, and you can color coordinate these obviously with what's going on. And this week I had an apple pie theme, so I decided, you know, red and white, and then I can also use this one come the holidays. So you've probably seen it on my Instagram and several of my pictures in my planner and things as I've been doing my weekly updates this week. So I thought I would show you guys how to make it. So stay tuned and we'll get started. Okay, so there's a few things you're gonna need. Baker's twine or embroidery thread or yarn or any of those things will work to make tassels. So let's say you find a really pretty red and green yarn and maybe some like eyelash yarn. You can definitely incorporate all of that. I'm going to start with a very basic setup. So I'm going to take this blue and white, this is more royal blue, and we're going to make a tassel out of that one, another planner tassel. What's really great right now though is that tassels are really into home decor. So it could be you're making a bookmark for one of your friends for Christmas, and you could add a little tassel to the top. They're super easy to make. It's a little time consuming with the wrapping, but ultimately the end result is really nice, as you can see from my finished one. So I'm going to do the darker blue and white because I don't know why. It's just because I have it here. Might do, I think this one's going to go with the spread in the beginning of December, so I'll probably do both. I bought a 3-pack at Dollar Tree. So it was the red and white, this darker blue and white, and then the lighter kind of frosty blue and white here. So they come on these little rolls, and there is plenty to do a tassel. They also sell baker's twine at Michael's in the like grab bins by the cash registers. They have Recollections brand. And embroidery thread is really easy to come across now because of all the, you know, hype with the younger girls doing all of the friendship bracelets again. But I find that this stuff is super soft and I really like how it comes out. So you could mix both colors, but I'm going to keep it simple and do just the one. So next, after you have whatever medium you're going to use to make your tassel, you're going to need a piece of cardboard or chipboard or something rigid. I cut this off of a box. It's approximately 2.5 inches. You don't need this much. It was just the easiest bit for me to cut off. So based on how long you want your tassel to be is the width from top to bottom, because you're going to wrap your medium, whatever string or yarn you're using, around it repeatedly until it creates a good bunch on there. I typically am using the whole roll because I like my tassel a little fuller. Now, let's say you were doing a tassel for that bookmark idea I was giving you. You would just cut this down so that your tassel was shorter and it wouldn't take nearly as much. So we're gonna get started here, and the only other thing you'll need is a pair of scissors. And these are my craft scissors, not my paper scissors or anything like that. So what I do is I pull off a generous amount here. I don't want to pull off too much because it'll get crazy tangled. And if you're using embroidery thread, it's really, really, really easy just to leave those little papers on them. It makes it super simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end here and line it up with one edge. I don't know if this can, there we go. So I'm gonna line it up with one edge, and then all you're gonna do is continually wrap it until it holds itself, and then once it holds itself, you just keep going. So I'm going to finish wrapping this all up, and once we're to the point where I need to snip it off, I will be back with you. Wrapped it a whole bunch of times here. As you can see, it's pretty thick. And I'm going to take it to the end where my open end was. I'm going to bring it to there, and I'm going to leave a considerable amount here. So this is roughly probably about 14 inches. Anything above 12 inches is good. It's because this is going to be the length of what you're using to tie it onto your planner with, if you're doing it as a planner, or if you're doing it on a tag or a bookmark like I said, you could leave a little bit less. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to snip that guy off. Now, I'm not going to let it unravel or anything, I'm just going to hold it. All we're going to do now is I'm basically going to take probably about 4 to 5 inches. It doesn't have to really be, you don't have to be perfect. So this is how much I have left, so I'm probably going to shorten it up just a little bit so that I have a considerable amount to tie around for my tassel to hang down off of my planner. Okay? But I have these nails on, so I have to leave a little bit extra for myself to do the next step. If you don't have nails, this is actually a lot easier. So I'm going to snip 3 to 4 inches off. I'm going to lay this bit aside to make my hanging part. Now, making sure that the open end is down here. I'm going to go to the unopened end. I'm going to take one bit of this, and I'm going to slide it through. This gets a little challenging, especially if you do it tight, and I do mine pretty tight. You can always just bend the cardboard. I feel like an idiot because my first one went away. There it goes. Okay. So then you're going to slide this all the way to the top. I slid the wrong one to the top. See? Real life mistakes. This is to make the head, so I actually need this one at the top. I was just sitting here thinking, I grabbed the wrong one, didn't I? So we're going to set aside that one, grab the long one, and go through that whole process again. Now, if you have anything like a crochet hook or anything like that that you could, basically use to do this, to make this bit easier, by all means use it. So all I'm going to do is match my tails as best I can. And then once you have your tails matched to the unopened end, you're going to do a double knot. Just 2 regular little knots. And I find that the baker's twine makes this like super duper simple. Sorry, I just hit my tripod. It does get a little bit difficult to, cinch this down. I'm gonna sit here and watch me struggle. I feel like such a ding-ding sometimes. But I told you guys I would show you. So, all I'm doing is holding that knot with my thumb, the first one I did. baker's twine, excuse me, baker's twine will loosen if you don't get it tight. So there's one of my tails coming out right there. All right. So that's gonna make my head, and then the bit that I tie onto my project is right here. So the next thing we're gonna do is I am going to take my shorter bit here and have it ready, because this is where it gets fun, because baker's twine tends to curl as soon as you bring it off of this, and you don't want to cut it yet. Do not cut your open end yet. You want to get this off of your cardboard. Like so. And try, see how it's starting to twist? Okay. I've got one of my tails up here. So, now what you do is you take your short bit and you tie it with the shorter side, leaving a tail to wrap. So that's what I'm going to do now, or I'm going to attempt to do with these nails, because it gets a little crazy. I don't want my you could tie this while it's still on the cardboard to one side and then pull it off and wrap it, but I don't know, I guess I like things to be a little more difficult. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, and if I had more, I would wrap it more. But what I'm going to do is take this long tail I have and use it to wrap it. This is crafted on the fly, people. And take this other short piece from the knotted one and tie it. I didn't leave quite enough for this bit because of these fingernails, which I love having, but sometimes these little fiddly bits, it makes it a little bit difficult. Get back in there. Alright, and this is where you really get some of your tension on the head of your tassel. And you can do this with metallics and all kinds. So, next thing to do, see, it ain't going anywhere. Alright, so the next bit to do is to trim these little crazy bits off of the tassel so they don't stick out and go wonky. If you're worried about fraying, you could always use spray check, and it would stop this from fraying. Now, so that's what we're looking like. See, it's still all curled and moppy down here, and then you've got your head tie here. There's my wonky knot, but that's not a big deal. And then this is the bit that you're going to tie onto your project. So the next big step is going through and cutting all of these loops. Now, if you have a really large pair of scissors and you can sit here and thread them all, great. If not, I just grab what I can grab, stretch it straight, so as far as it'll stretch, and then cut. And then, you know, you got some curly bits. It takes it a few to work these little curls out of itself. And then you just kind of part it and find the ones that are cut. Like that one's not cut. So I'm holding my head, stretching it tight. Not too tight, because if you pull too hard, it's going to loosen your knots. So you patty out. See, I've got another one there. This is kind of how you figure out if anything still needs to be cut. You just kind of run your fingers through it without untwisting the baker's twine. Okay, so now I'm going to treat this just like you were at a hair salon. The baker's twine is so wonderfully soft that when you start flattening it, it kind of just starts cooperating. So as you can see, there's a few little bits there that are a little long. So I'll just show you that up close. There's some bits right there that are long. So all I'm going to do is this, and I like to have mine have like a sweep across them, so it's a little bit longer in the middle and shorter on the sides. So all I'm going to do is take off these really crazy long ones because baker's twine isn't perfect, and I'm okay with that. I'm just going to give them a haircut. There you go. You can fuss with it as much or as little as you want. You will get fuzzies. So we're just going to shake him out here like so, and now he's all ready for the dance. So now all you do is you figure out what it's going on, so how much you need up here, all that kind of stuff. All I do is, I think this is called a slip knot, and then I just run it out as far close to the ends as I can get it, and trying to make it look nice, and there you go. All you do now is into the coil, open this up, and run it through, and you have a planer tassel. Now I have two opposing colors. So this is the one I made the other day, and this is the one we just did on camera. It's that easy, guys. You know, maybe 15 minutes. You could probably crank out a bunch of these in front of the TV if it was something you were so inclined to do. So if there's any other DIYs that you think would be a good idea for me to attempt and show to you, leave me a comment down below. And please remember to give me a thumbs up so I know you like what you see, and hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening whenever you're watching this, and thank you so much for stopping by AmandaK Crafts. You guys have a great one. Bye!